Hi, I'm Dr. Jill Rowan, founder and president of Sciencia Consulting. And this short video is to talk a little bit more in detail of the way we approach content strategy and SEO and GEO services to drive life science company growth. So if your product is changing the way scientists and leaders do things, the barrier to entry is skepticism. And one of the best ways to break through this is through content designed specifically to help them get to know and trust you. So, how content functions across the buyer journey is you start with awareness and education, blogs, videos, and then move to higher value assets, data-driven white papers, how-to webinars to really build engagement and trust. And then finally, for decision support, any sort of case study that proves your claims helps your customer understand that working with you is going to reduce risk and reinforce confidence. And underneath it all is your website, which we consider a system of record that tracks customer behavior, reveals intent, and exposes internal alignment gaps. So we all know that the digital ecosystem is constantly mutating, but the good news is that the fundamentals of content remains the same. All of our pieces are credible, unique, and well structured. And it's important now that we are looking to optimize for AI search. It's not just piece by piece. We really want to look at the system. And some of the best practices for AI readiness we found is one for internal alignment. You want to make sure sales, marketing, PR, what you're putting out in social really all kind of speaks the same language, just in a slightly different tone and manner. Perhaps structured authority, ensuring that all of your content is credible and expert-led, none of the generic copy. Technical foundation is important, schema, FAQs, site speed, but also UX. Google is starting to pay more attention to the UX of websites, and it's going to be really interesting to see how that grows in the coming years. Having diverse sources, the different traffic driving traffic to your site from search, social newsletter, PR, it's really good to diversify. And AI search likes to, that's a trust signal, knowing you're not just relying on one or two channels. And then external validation, backlinks, press, and citations are now more important than ever. So the tactical execution goal is really about flooding the zone, but you don't need to reinvent a new, idea or concept each time. The goal is really to have, your primary research, unique insights, whether it's in a blog or white paper, and then build out different assets for traditional media, social, direct, Substack is getting really popular now. Company channels, newsletter, blogs, and podcasts. You can either go on all these new media podcasts or even create your own. So, how do we get there? Well, we've been in business for 10 years. We've really fine-tuned this five-phase process so it's fast and efficient and research, but it has a really good research base. So, starting with phase one, brand and content assessment, moving on to website optimization. If you're going to invest in content strategy, SEO, GEO, you really want to make sure you're starting off with a really healthy website. Then moving into strategy development, we take things one quarter at a time when we're starting and then content production and launch, and then performance and optimization. Just want to talk a little bit more in depth on phase five, which is so important because there's really not a lack of metrics to look at. So when we're doing our strategy, we really want to make sure that we identify what metrics we're going to be looking at to help us reach our goals. And content and SEO GEO is a compounding game. So we want to every month making sure that we're refining audience targeting and scaling successful topics. So we're a small business. It's myself and I have a team of experts that I've been working with for the past 10 years. So we start with, in a starter building the engine package that would, just be myself working with you directly and with the goal of becoming discoverable and credible. If we're ready to kind of grow, I can bring on a PR and media expert. I also have PhD content writers to help with higher value assets. Maybe we throw in some paid distribution. And then finally, for the pro leading the category, these in new media ages, and which is good for the company brand as well, is to really amplify the chief executive, to influence and the market to attract funding, to build up your brand, to attract talent. So why partner with Sciencia? Well, we're PhD led. That's myself. And we're impact driven. We're all very experimental. It's really not about polish. It's about having certain guidelines and governance and testing and learning. We're fluent in AI, R&D, and life science. And we also have a proprietary life science content quality scoring system that we've developed in collaboration with students at SDSU and UC San Diego. So if you'd like, please take a look at all our case studies. We have a number of them on this specific service. And I'd be happy to talk with you. There's my email and phone number. Feel free to reach out and set up a call. Thanks for listening and hope to hear from you soon.